Hey everyone, I wanted to show you a demo of some software that I've been building for use in shops, not unlike this one that sort of is lit like the surface of Mars. And the software is specifically for using on subtractive machines like a CNC machine like this, or perhaps a small portable one like that, or anything, or even big industrial machines as well. And these are all, they're called subtractive because they typically have like a spinning bit or a laser or a torch mounted to them so they can go remove material. So the process normally is to draw your thing in the CAD software of your choice, and that's CAD. And then the middle software is called CAM. This is like very expensive, very complicated, very antiquated software. To put this into, without doing an extensive demo of some of the software that's currently available, this is a really popular one for machines of about this size. It is so primitive that if I were to draw a rectangle in SketchUp or anything else and bring it into this piece of software, it would be at best 4 lines that happen to be near each other. This software has no awareness of the thickness of the material, the strategy used to cut it out, or even the machine that it is connected to. It's really, really super primitive. And so with this software Fabber that I built, we've actually solved for a lot of the heartache. And by the way, this is a $3,000 piece of software. This goes up to about $25,000 in software for machines of this size, depending on the flavor that you get. And they're all just as complicated and expensive and frankly dumb to use. So let's do a demo here. So if I were to make this thing, this is a thing that separates, it actually goes in between arcade machines. So you put this in between, you've got a good place to set your beers down. If I were to make this using this traditional software, what I'd have to do is draw it in SketchUp and then hand lay out all the parts, bring in all that geometry into here, and it's all flattened geometry. The arcs are typically broken up, and that's not necessarily because of SketchUp. And I have to spend, to be charitable, like about 2 hours prepping this all to get it ready to cut these parts out to send to this machine. And so here's how it works with Fabber. So what we have here, we have the 3D model, and you can kind of see some of the detail here. We've got some pockets, some little hook fasteners, things like that. So the 3D model is just as it exists. And I don't need to do anything else. No flattening, no taking it apart, no reverse engineering the model. Just take it and press our little Fabber button. And what this has done, it's extracted this file out of SketchUp and sent it to Fabber Clouds. This is actually an HTML window that's rendered here. And so we're just going to ask some questions here about what kind of machine you have. So I'm going to tell it my machine, which is my ShopBot high voltage, that it's out of plywood, that we're using a compression spiral, material size, all that stuff. And then we've got all the parts here. So these are all the parts that are extracted out of SketchUp. Their names are here. As you can see, I've not done a good job at naming these files. You can even go through here and see the complete design just to check to make sure that we got, the right parts brought in. And again, this is all done on our web app. None of this is, it's sort of cached locally, but it's not happening locally. So go back over here, make sure everything that we want is accurate. We press manufacture. And our special Fabber gremlins are going through and making toolpaths. Download the code. And let's just place this on the desktop here. And that's it. That would take 2 hours in just about any competing software. We did it in, with narration in under 2 minutes. Now, just to prove that it actually works, I'm going to go here and just set up something here so we can cut this. Okay, we're all set. So I'm going to load up that file that we just generated from Fabber. And we'll do a little preview. As you can see, all of those parts, as you may recognize them from SketchUp. This is the actual machine control software. We don't build this part. This is built into every machine. But that file looks good. And we're going to go ahead and run it. And there it is. So, to save your eardrums, this is not loaded up with material, but this is the machine driving over here and using those tool paths to cut out all of these parts. So this very much works. One of the things that might be interesting to you guys is, let me just stop this here so we can. This was totally built as a web app because one of the visions that I have is, while we're seeing it here in SketchUp desktop, I really think this would be a great add-on for the web version of SketchUp. And that's why one of the reasons that we built this completely web-based. And for other reasons too, we can pull in models from other CAD softwares as well, Fusion, Onshape, and a couple others. And being on the web makes that kind of a lot easier to be the hub for all of this stuff. So that is a quick demo of Fabber, and this is not a canned demo. This is real. These are real projects that we use, and I use this, for real here in the shop. So interested to know your thoughts. Thanks.